What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. I like to try to catch Sil off guard now, and I think I did it this time.
Yeah, you
What's up,
definitely
Seal?
did.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. Just hanging out. Got the baby in the other room. Hopefully he
Seal
doesn't.
is officially my enemy for the next month, I guess, because he's still willing to wear Gator shit because he didn't go to UCF. So, um, right now, if you're a Gator fan, you can go fuck yourself. You're gonna lose in a month. Um,
Yeah, I've already put in my mind I'm rooting for the Gators in this one solely because last time I'm trying to attend this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to. Baby girl's
mm,
already bills and Christmas and shit, so
sure.
hopefully I'll be able to slip it in. So I'm gonna try to go. It's
I thought you
literally
already paid for the tickets.
I didn't. We had
Oh,
other priorities.
gotcha.
Yeah. And I could have got them earlier, but I didn't. We had other priorities I had to pay for on the card. But anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna try to go. But the only reason I'm rooting for the Gators, I want to root for UCF. I don't feel like they really have a chance in hell to win this game. There's gonna be a lot of missed tackles. I know that. I know
There
that
would
for
be
a
missed
fact.
tackles on both sides.
Yes, I know. Yeah. So I
It's
don't
gonna
know
be
the
terrible.
score. I just feel like the Gators are just better on offense than UCF is at this point in time. If it was week 2, week 3, UCF would just run them down their throats, and the Gators can't do anything against a run, and they can't tackle in the secondary. So Bowser would have like 5, 6 touchdowns, and this game wouldn't be anything. But it's not week 2, week 3. But I feel like the Gators have a good chance of winning. And the last time these two played each other was in basketball at the Amway Center. And I was all UCF, tried to fight Gator fans strictly to show I was UCF that night. And I can't root against my Gators twice. My dad would definitely roll over in his grave. I think he gave me a pass on that one, but there's no way in hell that I'll get a
Yeah.
pass. In football, not happening.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, I'm an alma mater, or I mean, I'm an alumni. I have to, um, but it's a win-win for me. It's 1A and 1B, but UCF will always be 1A since they have a lot of my money. But we're not going to talk. Well, not my money, the government's money, I guess. Then the government has my money. But anyways, um, it's it's bowl season, but we're not really going to talk about the bowls. We've been college football heavy for now 10 weeks,
It's
11
always
weeks.
bowl season here.
So when it gets closer to the better bowls, because we don't care about like the Hawaii Bowl with Hawaii and whoever it is, Marshall or whatever it is. So I don't care about those things. So as it gets closer to January, we'll cover the ones that are important to us. But UCF and UF, of course, is going to be huge, and we're really excited. It's nice that they forced them essentially to kick it off a little early because we're going to be playing them starting 2024 or in 2024, then not till 30, but in 2024 we'll get to play them. So now it's in four-year stretches basically. So that's pretty cool.
And it seems like this is what they've been wanting for the last month and a half. We brought up what 3, 4 episodes ago when they kind
Yeah.
of laid out the projections. Like they were already saying, "Yep, this should happen." It wasn't in Tampa, it wasn't this bowl, but the Gators ended up losing more games than they were projected to.
Right.
So it's in somewhat the Gasparilla
The
Bowl,
bad
and
boys mower grad
yeah,
Gasparilla, whatever.
but it's at Raymond James Stadium, a nice stadium to go to and watch a game. And
Well, they already
there's
sold out the allotment like 3 times. They had to open the third deck for both Florida and Florida or UCF. So the fans, the students, everybody's at least hyped for it.
yeah,
This is
so
the
it's
most money the Gasparilla Bowl will ever make in its history without even like it won't
for
even be a
sure.
close second.
For sure. And I'm scared to go on Ticketmaster when I actually do have the money on Friday, Saturday, because there probably won't be tickets. And if they are, they're going to be resale tickets and they're not going to be
Right.
the $15 that they were put out at, which is going to suck. But yeah, $15 a pop. I was definitely excited when that was announced. And it's going to be a hell of a game, I think. Usually you would think this type of game, even UCF a la Georgia back in the day when they played another SEC team, low scoring. What was it, 10-3? I think.
Right.
And you would think that the Gators would be able to come out and stop UCF, but we already alluded to the horrible tackling on defense. So I think this is going to be a fun game to watch, and it's going to look nothing like the games that are going to be coming up when this rivalry actually starts. This series of games, not rivalry.
And who knows? I mean, it could potentially turn into a rivalry. The problem is that it would end up being non-conference, and Florida already has Florida State. So they're not going to try to, obviously UCF's going to try to schedule them and say it's our in-state conference because we don't want to be USF, but UCF might need to just start scheduling Miami for the time being. Let Florida have Florida State, and then when we've beaten up on Miami a few times in a row, maybe we can keep a big one there. You think Miami would schedule us in place of USF right now, or in 2024?
2024, no, we're gonna be see you guys. I gotta start saying you guys
for the next month.
For the next couple of weeks.
It's
only 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And but you guys are gonna be in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So I think that's above the ACC right now.
Right, but it's still a Florida matchup, and I mean we're not going to face Florida matchup.
But yeah, you're not going to. I don't think you guys are going to use your non-conferences against Miami. That's already sealed up. One of them, at least for 3 times, is going to be the Gators. So I don't know if they're going to reach out to go to Miami as well. And
maybe they'll try in the off years to do like FSU or Miami. So it'll be like 2024 Florida, 2025 Florida State, 2026 Miami, and then Florida.
I see Miami way before Florida State. Florida State's just trash. They can't even make a bowl game. Did Miami win 6 games?
No, Miami got like 3 wins. They were worse than Florida State, I think. But
wow.
No, I think they both ended with 5, Florida State and Miami. But
that's sad.
It's been bad. But Florida State right now has the highest recruiting. Obviously, it's not even early signing day yet. That's still next week. So it's a long way away. But Florida State is the top in the state right now. So
yeah, and Florida, I was kind of going yay on Billy Napier for us not dropping commits. We did lose 3 so far.
Yeah, we lost some big ones, but
we'll come back. I don't think it's an issue of coaching. I just think that it was a Dan Mullen recruit, and that they were either going to be with Dan Mullen or go somewhere where they know that they're going to be able to start. A new coach coming in. And Billy, I think that's a kudos as well. The people that are leaving aren't hating. It's not like, fuck that. It's I want to go somewhere I know I can start.
Well, the thing is,
there's 2 big names and then a 4-star receiver.
Right. I was talking to Eddie about it because he was talking about how low Florida had dropped. They're down to like number 80 right now in the rankings, but the leavers happen immediately.
Yeah.
The people that are following Napier and the people that are going to sign because of Napier take time. So if you look right after the firing and hiring, then it's going to look bad, but give it a little bit of time. I mean, Taggart, as bad as I think he is as a coach, he's had time to come through, or Mike Norvell, whoever it is, up there at FSU. He's had time to go look and scout and do some things.
And this is, now I'm kind of starting to see why a lot of people kind of bash that National Signing Day is so early in the off season. It just happened this week. I think yesterday or today. Today's Wednesday. I think it was.
Well, that's
Tuesday.
Them to comment, but I think the 15th is when they're officially able to sign.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is big. It's a big week, big 7-day period, and it's so fast, especially with all these big schools. Now I'm seeing why everybody hates it so much, because we've gotten used to kind of being consistent and getting the big name people. And as a Gator and a UCF fan, it's just big name after big name here recently. And now to get Napier coming out of the Raging Cajuns, who had a hell of a bowl game, and shout out to their fans. They went not a bowl game, a conference. Their fans went nuts at just giving him shout outs like crazy. The huge brought out the old school white sheets with spray paint on them. It was awesome, and it really brings confidence to me as a Gator fan that we'll be fine. We might have a couple of down years. I don't think we're going to have a fucking 6-6 year under Napier. That's not going to happen. But we might be 8-4, 9-3 a couple years. But I think we're going to have a good 5-year projection. Do some damage, get their recruiting back, and hopefully UCF kind of takes the bite on that a little bit, and they have to keep going and getting these Hawaii guys and these West Coast guys, because it comes back to Florida. They've had so many in the last 8 years, many guys from Jacksonville, from Apopka. They get all the Apopka guys, all those big Central Florida guys, but they're getting Jacksonville guys. They're getting fucking Gainesville guys. They're getting
We're gonna get all the Tampa guys
they're
now.
getting
There's not
Sanford
much in
guys.
Tampa, but
They're getting so many people that usually would go 60 miles up instead of 50 miles down all
Right.
day long. And now for the last 8 years, it's been going to UCF heavily, and they've been benefiting like crazy off of it. All the linemen, it seems like defensive and offensive linemen are born and raised in Florida, and the University of Florida needs to get those guys back.
Well, it's crazy because UCF is really, I mean, their out of state commits has gone up drastically since Milton really started the pipeline. But we had the guys coming out of, what was it, Oregon, where Scott Frost came from, right? And then the people from Hawaii, obviously. And now with Gus, we right now have all the people from Alabama that are coming from him leaving Auburn. Auburn is in Alabama for all you guys. I wasn't talking about the University of Alabama. People coming from there, but those wells will dry up. I mean, he wasn't at Auburn forever. He's not gonna get kids that are like 4 years old that eventually become these guys. So that well's gonna dry up.
Going back to
recruit Florida.
The days of the George O'Leary, who would still think I'm an idiot, or what did he call me?
I don't think we're allowed to say what he called you
for wearing my hat backwards.
I think he just said idiot at first.
Yeah, he told me to. Yeah, when we went to the parking lot, he said a couple of other choice words. I had to turn my hat around to get those free tickets, but but yeah, even going back to those days, he was able to get a lot of Georgia boys, a lot of Louisiana guys, a lot of people outside of the state, because he just could not get his hands on them because they were all going to the other in-state guys. And Miami and Florida State isn't it, and this year Florida wasn't it, but last year we were the SEC championship game. So that's what we need to get back to, is to where even though UCF is way better than they were back in 2010 when everybody was screaming for O'Leary to get fired. He came out now. He has a statue there, right?
Yeah, a really ugly looking statue.
I bet it does. But yeah, that's insane to think about from whenever I was hanging my hat down there in Orlando to now. But yeah, that's what they need to get back to, is to where they can't even get their hands on them. And UCF is really going to have to work towards being a powerhouse in the Big 12. That's what Napier needs to do.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that, honestly, I mean, obviously they're trying to be the best in the state, but I don't think that UCF is looking to steal Florida's right now. They're looking to steal Florida State's and Miami's, because Florida's still making bowl games. They're still doing things. And yeah, they're a little down, but Miami, well, without De'Aaron King, they were absolutely nothing. Or it was De'Aaron King, right?
Yeah.
There for like a day. And then Florida State had a complete quarterback just mishap everywhere. But we have not, UCF has not had a 5-star recruit, unless you count Dante Culpepper all the way back in 98 or whenever he came. That was a completely different world, and I don't really know how he showed up at UCF, but we haven't had a 5-star recruit. So no, it wasn't money. It was fake classes is what it was. The big schools wouldn't take him academically, and we were like, we'll take you academically. We don't give a fuck. Anyways, he came. He's the only 5-star we've ever had. So we're going to get those. When we get to the Big 12, we're going to start to get some 5-stars, but we'll see where they're starting to look. Because if they just head down to South Florida, grab all those 5-star speedsters, I think if you have the top 250 that's on Rivals or whatever, I would say a solid 125, 100, maybe 50 are from Florida. So they can just come in and scoop, bro, and just have skill positions everywhere.
Yeah, real quick, speaking on the fake classes, did you see the Devontae Smith little video of him on the sideline? Somebody was using the muscle gun, and he was like, hey man, that's on a bruise, that's just going to keep hurting it. That's not a muscle, that's not a sore muscle, that's a bruise, you're just going to keep messing it up. And somebody's like, what do you know? He's like, bro, I got a degree, and it was like sports yoga or some shit like that he said. And I was just sitting there thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, you got one of those freaking football classes going, oh, I got a degree. And it was like, it was weird. It was a weird thing. They probably taught him where to place the muscle gun, and if he did it right at the end of the semester, he got an A type shit. I was like, yeah,
take that class.
It still happens.
Yeah, of course it still happens. But if the classes are accredited, then they're accredited, which I'm sure there weren't fake classes by UCF, but they definitely not fudge his numbers, but they were like, we'll let you in with like a 1.8 GPA. We don't care. Come on in, sir.
All the freshmen are sitting there like, yo, we're sitting here with Dante Culpepper in class.
Right. That's crazy. He was like the 11th overall draft pick.
That's what, dude,
like,
at PHS. So whenever I was in ninth grade, I was in all the honors classes, but I wasn't a honors acting student. So they were putting me in, I was in all of the classes with all of the varsity football and basketball players. Just all of the classes. To them, it was dumb, but for me, it was like, okay, he's in an accelerated math class,
Nice.
science class. I had him as the ninth grade, and he was an 11th grade teacher, 12th grade teacher at that point in time. And it was just, yeah.
That's
awesome.
Hilarious. All right, so it's going to be exciting. We'll talk about the game a lot more probably next week, but let's move on and let's talk a little bit. I just want to tell a story. When I was looking up Dante Culpepper stuff, yes, that wasn't off the top of my head. If we had Eddie, it would have been off the top of his head. But when I was looking up Dante Culpepper stuff, I saw a guy, I just got randomly, because Dante Culpepper led the NFL in passing touchdowns in the year 2002, I think, 2003 maybe, with 33 touchdown passes. And I was like, damn, that's sad. And I was like, I wonder what the lowest is. And so I want to give a shout out to this man because he was a beast. This is not meant to be a joke. This dude is a stud. Jimmy Conzelman. He in 1922 led, 1922 when they wore the leather helmets. And
this is like year 2 of the NFL.
Yeah, no, year 3. And he led the team or the whole NFL with 3 touchdown passes.
What the fuck?
He threw 10 attempts in 10 games. 3 of those bitches were touchdowns. He also led the league in rushing touchdowns with 7. So you got to think about this. This dude, the averages, I got a real deep dive. It was crazy. The averages per team was 1.7 passing touchdowns and 6.8 rushing touchdowns a season that season. So this dude doubled them up on both. He was like, I'm the man. So this dude, whoever Jimmy Conzelman is, shout out to him. He's not going to be alive because if he was playing in 1922 he was 20, he would be 110 right now. So he's not playing.
That is a different age of football, my guy.
Just imagine. And I was just kind of thinking,
I'm baffled.
I was thinking like, why? Why would the touchdowns be so low? And all I can think of is the blocking was probably absolute ass. There's no schemes. They don't know what to do. You just stand there and hit. There's probably no rules. So the throwing was off the menu, but even running, like you wouldn't have been able to. All their touchdowns probably came from defensive touchdowns, I would think. And it said he played halfback and quarterback. So I don't really even know what he did. It's like he did both, but he was a beast. He led the league in both. So Jimmy Conzelman, you dominated. He had 16 rushing touchdowns over 104 games. So shout out to him.
That's crazy.
It's just crazy that like total, I had the numbers in my head, but now they're gone. Total, I had texted him that actually, they were like 30 passing touchdowns. It was 31 passing touchdowns and 127 rushing touchdowns that year. And I was like, that is a week in pro football, like one weekend. The rushing touchdowns, maybe not, but 35 passing touchdowns, that's a week.
That
Easy.
fantasy week that I text you, I have 10 touchdowns. I ended up with 14 touchdowns on my starting lineup. Just my 9 guys. I had a defense and a kicker that doesn't count.
Yeah, so that's
and not my quarterback. I'm not even talking about my quarterback either. I had 6 guys that had 13 touchdowns.
For them to have a total in the entire year, they played 12 games that year, 10, and then the 2 playoff games. A total of 160 touchdowns.
I think Jalen Hurts had a rushing touchdown. I think I counted as rushing, but yeah, he had like 2 passing touchdowns that game.
160 touchdowns through 12 games with, I think they had like 10 teams in the league. That's nuts, man.
10th of that on my fantasy team.
So go Jimmy Conzelman. I just wanted to let you guys know sometimes how nerdy we can get with our sports.
Dude. Yeah. That's really just sitting there thinking about, like, I've seen old Army Navy flicks of their old games, and it's crazy to watch. And then you look back at the old Leatherheads, the movie, and then at the beginning of that movie they kind of show, and at the end in the credits they show the old school, and it's literally they are walking back to the running back and handing them the ball and say, go for it. And people, yeah, it's insane to think about. And people think, oh, I could have played back in that day.
You would have
Yeah,
killed, bro.
yeah.
They were tough.
Yeah, that's insane to even think about going. The Jaguars have like, I think 16, 17 touchdowns this year. And they're getting flacked on. The receivers have 9 touchdowns and they're getting fucking flacked on. 15 points a game will be the lowest in franchise history.
Right. But just imagine the lack of rules. I mean, hands to the face probably wasn't a thing. Holding probably wasn't a thing. They probably just grabbed people and chucked them out of the way, you know?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, for sure.
It would have been interesting to watch though, but boring if you were.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to watch it. I don't think I could watch it.
All right. So anyways, let's fast forward 100 years and let's start talking about real stuff. And this podcast, I know we've already been going for like 20 minutes, but this podcast wouldn't be fair to start. I'm still calling it starting without saying that Tiger Woods is back. This man,
Hey-o.
And not only is he's back in the best way possible. And he's back not trying to win. He's back as a dad. He's back playing with his boy. Obviously he'll try to win because he's a competitive freak and he has been since he was like 3 years old, but he's going to be okay if he doesn't win, which he won't, because he probably won't even finish the whole 72 holes, but he's back. He's going to get to play with his son. He's going to get to have a good time. And his son's pretty good at golf. So we'll see. We'll see what can come of that.
Yeah. And, we saw like a week
That's out
ago.
near you, isn't it? Or is it Jacksonville?
I have no idea. where it is.
course
I know
is
it's the
in Florida.
PNC something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw a couple of days ago that he might be back for the PNC, which he is back. But
It's in Orlando.
It was due to him going out and hitting balls and seeing how he felt. So what that told me is he's doing as much as he can to get there for his son. So like you already alluded to, I don't know that he even finishes the tournament. But it is nice that he is coming back. This isn't like Jordan going to the Wizards and you coming out to watch him play. It's just Tiger Woods is today's golf, and he's getting the short end of the stick more than anybody else has. And it really sucks. And back in the day, a lot of people thought he was like a shithead asshole guy. And it's came into fruition that he's really not. He's just in his mindset and he knows what he wants in life and he's going to go out there and get it. And we've obtained a lot of respect for him in that aspect. And I love the guy. And he's one of those people that he's played golf his whole life and he can't imagine a life without golf. And now more so it's for his son. And I respect the hell out of that.
And you've seen how much he loves his son too. Like,
yeah, if this competition wasn't for 6 months, we wouldn't see Tiger for 6 months.
Right.
Like he is coming in solely because of his son, and it's awesome.
And we've seen that love for his son the whole time. When his son was a baby, the same age as he was, and he won and he held him. And then even up to, what was it, 2 years ago, I guess, when he won again, and like his son is older and able to play, and it's just like, this is nuts, man. And really his son is good. I'm excited to see what he can do. It's got to be cool. I'm not a dad, but it's got to be cool when your son chooses to follow in your footsteps and is able to play the game that you love. I can't imagine how cool that is. So
yeah, that's awesome. And real quick, while we're on that, shout out to another guy who already has a son who's balling in the majors. It's Vlad Jr., right?
Yeah, Vlad Jr.
So apparently there's a 15-year-old Vladdy Guerrero, just VLADI. Vladdy, he's gonna get his name in that seed somehow. But he's 15 years old. He was at like a major league ballpark doing like BP or some shit, hitting bombs, bro. This kid is gonna be a menace. And they're all in like DR or Puerto Rico, wherever the fuck he's from.
I think it's Dominican.
That's where they live. That's where they grow up. And they are, bro, this kid is already like probably as big as his older brother. And he's only 15. And he's
when are you able to be drafted? 17?
16. No, I think when you're Hunter Scantling, you know, the guy he played baseball for Florida State, brother was an Olympian this year. All the Scantling boys, they're the best. I hate Mike every day for not having me. It sucks. But anyways, Hunter was drafted, I think his senior year. So no, his junior year. his senior year, and then whenever he got into college, they were like, all right, yeah, fuck you. He ended up being like a sixth round, and then started getting back up into the rounds and shit. So yeah, I think it starts when you're like 17.
Gotcha. So they'll be drafting him right out because he doesn't have to go to high school, I assume. I don't know what the rules are in those countries, but I'm sure their schooling is different. And
Yeah.
in America, which maybe American baseball will still make them go to some sort of equivalent of school. I don't know, but because I think that's if you get drafted, I think you can get drafted when you're 16, but if you accept it's still contingent on you finishing school and then you like go to be with that team or something like that.
Oh yeah, no, you
Right.
have to finish. Yeah, because Bryce Harper was 17 and he like
Right.
tried to cut school early and had to do the whole online shit to where he
Yeah.
could be in summer leagues by the time he was supposed to be graduating high school,
Right.
or spring ball when he was supposed to be graduating high school.
Well, I hope he makes it to the league because these Guerreros, these Tatises who I hate, but these Sotos, these guys, they're bringing the fun to the game. We've talked about it multiple times, and to get another Guerrero in there, Vlad, the original, was fun, and people just kind of shoved it under the rug because that wasn't the way you played baseball. And so now, as more people are getting that way, I remember watching Vlad pregame. He would take the ball on the third baseline and just throw it into the right field stands as his warm up, because obviously he needs his arm warmed up since he's out there in the outfield. And that was one of his, you know how like Steph does the tunnel shot. That was his tunnel shot. He'd go to third base and chuck it into the right field stands. And I got to see it live and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I can't even get it from third to second. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nuts. So bring more of that into the game. I'm happy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I just thought it was really cool to see. I wanted to shout that out. This kid's gonna be a monster. If he's any kind of defenseman,
is he sized like
brother
Junior?
is,
Like,
bro,
is he thick?
He is thick. So if he's any kind of athletic ability like his brother is, then he's gonna be some trouble. Because I mean, Guerrero Jr., yeah, it'd be nice. Like what he's able to do at the plate is awesome, but his defensive skills are fucking bar none, and it's gonna set him above like his dad. So if little Vladdy is able to do anything defensively that his brother's able to do, it's going to be a fun 20 years because their dad was able to play for what, like 18 years.
He tried to play long enough to play with Junior, and then he just ran out of steam.
So it's going to be a fun 20 years watching these two play together. It's probably going to be what, 7 years before we see Vladdy. It's usually about what? No, Junior's only 21.
Yeah, I mean he'll be, if he's good, he'll be 19 playing for sure.
Yeah, so that'll be awesome. It's going to be a fun time watching them two. And Tiger's son's 13 now, 14.
He can sign up. He can become a pro, I think, at 15.
So yeah, it's going to be great. Like in a time to where we didn't really see it a lot. And when we did, it's the Larry Nance Juniors,
right? All the juniors,
the Tim Hardaway Juniors, these guys who are nowhere near their parents. And now it seems like we got some guys who are going to take that name and do something more with it. And that's going to be fucking cool. Bronny, bro, have you seen Bronny this season?
He's still not the best player on his own team, though.
I know he's not,
but he is getting better. He's getting
good.
But I mean, okay, sorry. So fans that don't either watch or don't live in California to get to it shows on the news all the freaking time out here.
He smacked his dad's
when
team.
I say he's not the best player on his team, that's not meant to be a knock on him. He plays with the number 1 recruit in California, the number 3 recruit in California, and I think he's like the 9th or 16th or something. So he's still really good, but he's got a squad. Sierra Canyon is going to roll through everybody. It's not really fair.
They just beat the fuck out of St. Vincent St. James in LA, in the Lakers arena, in Staples Center. They had the Lakers court, hardwood on the floor. And he showed out.
Well, he's already beaten because he beat them in Ohio, like last year, right? Or 2 years ago, because COVID.
But he didn't do shit.
Right. He was on the bench. He came off.
He had, what did he have? He had like 22 points. Like he snapped on them this past weekend. It was insane. And like the bum his dad is, he tweeted out, I still don't understand the mask underneath the chin. They still do it. They started it last year. During the game, they're able to take it down. I don't even think they have a mask mandate during their games.
In California, they do.
Oh, they
They have
do.
mask mandates everywhere because they're in
That
LA County.
sucks.
It's in
Well,
Sierra.
I mean, when you look at the NBA players, they don't have to wear the mask on the court and all
Well, the
that
kids
stuff. And
aren't
on this,
vaccinated. They will
and
be soon enough, I guess.
true.
But
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But yeah, they go on the court, and all the starting guys for Sierra Canyon have that
because the
stupid
refs
mask.
don't have them, right? They don't have them under
No,
their chin. They're
no,
good. So
no.
yeah.
Watching the highlights though, the refs didn't have it, and the opposing team, they had the Gators, the little neck things. But every person on Sierra Canyon had the fucking blue, the disposable
The crappy
blue.
doctor
Yeah,
surgical ones. Yep.
yeah. And
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
yeah,
dude.
his dad tweeted out the bum. I still don't understand this mask thing underneath the chin. And I still don't either. It doesn't look appealing. It's not a
It
I
doesn't
guess
help any. It's just take it off and put it back
it's
on when
their
you're on the bench
style.
or
I guess
something.
South Florida has the stupid matchsticks,
Yeah.
kind of plat dread looking things. LA has the tattoos everywhere. It's a style thing for them.
So we haven't talked about this kid on the pod because, no offense, we've been through it. We've seen firsthand really talented players with physical deformities, I guess you can call it. We've seen them play for our teams, but have you seen this Hansel kid? His name's Hansel Emmanuel. He's a one-handed basketball player. Dude is a baller. He's a baller.
Yeah.
He finally got a D1 scholarship. So
Yeah,
he's
I
got a
saw
D1
that.
scholarship from a HBCU, which is awesome. But like, he's probably just going to be a Vines guy. Like, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to sound like
Oh yeah,
some
no, for
jackass,
sure.
but he's just going to be a Vines video dude. He's not going to make it to the NBA. Dude's got one hand. If he's trying to get defended by like Mikal Bridges, he's going to get shut down.
Yeah,
But he's nice. If you haven't found his videos, go check him out. He's really good.
there's a guy that's part of the Ball is Life squad. They go out all the time nowadays and they do a lot of pickup games and stuff for YouTube and all that stuff. But one of them has one arm, and he was a D1 guy, and he's like 23, 24 years old now. So he probably didn't even make it 2-3 years in D1. It's just something of like, these guys are born and bred. I didn't start picking up people's bounce, like learning their bounce and stuff and learning when to go for the ball until I was like fucking 17, 18 years old, and started playing with a lot of dogs and people who were like, yo, what the fuck are you doing on defense? Travis knows. Pick the chair over me because all I'm doing is sitting in the corner shooting threes. And at least the chair is going to be in somebody's way half the time. I'm not going to be in anybody's way. But I knew nothing about defense. These guys know their bounce patterns. They can pick it up like that. And if you can't switch to your other hand, boy, you are getting fucking cooked. There's
literally even if you cross over in front of your legs as a normal basketball player, once you make it to college, if you cross over without going behind or through a leg, it's stolen, it's ripped.
Yeah.
And this dude can't even cross over. He just physically can't do it. So
yeah, so he's going to get cookied all day. It's I'm talking about it, even G League. Like if he was to get to the G League, it's just not going to last. I mean, these people, Taco Fall is 7'6", 7'5".
And if you know he can only go one way, really.
And he's in the G League, and he's taller than everybody. Nobody can score over him, you would think, but everybody in the NBA can get 50 points on Taco Falls one-on-one. Game to 50, he's going to lose probably 50-3. And that's with him being, so that's just, these guys are bar none above and beyond. But yeah, shout out to this kid for showing the way that it doesn't matter what is put in, like in your path. Even something you can't control shit like that. You can control the life you live.
Yeah, and he's nice too. Like he's not some like,
oh dude, yeah, he's
sob story. He's averaging like 28 points a game. He's got like 8 assists a game. He's good. And it's sad to see that he's not.
He's on overtimes rules all the time.
Yeah, it's sad to see that he doesn't have the two hands, because like you see the drive, you see the ability, just physical natural ability, and sometimes that's just not the hand you're dealt, you know. And I'm excited because he has that drive, he has that ability. He's still going to make something of himself. We know that, you can see that. So I'm still excited about that. But you know, his dream is to play in the NBA, and I just truly don't think that's.
But no, and I don't either. But I like the fact that he's going to it. I saw something. You know that Goggins guy.
David Goggins.
Yeah, David Goggins. Yeah, he said his fear was always if he died, and like for him it's God, for us it's God, whatever it may be. If you die and whatever you believe in afterwards, if you go to them and they were like, yeah, man, like fucking MVP, NFL, 3 Super Bowls. Like, damn, man. You're like, wait, that's not me. It's like, yes, this is what you should have been.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's so when I saw, like, I'm still getting chills thinking about it. Like, I bawled crying when I
His
saw that
videos are
video,
so pulling,
bro.
dude.
And then for this kid, he has that mental aspect, knowing he only has one arm, knowing that he literally has half of the advantage that everybody else on the court does. He still says, I don't give a shit. I'm going for what I want, what I feel like I should have. And shout out to that kid, man. That's, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. That's awesome.
For sure. No, I'm excited because he's good. But I went to check to see if he's ranked. He's not in the top 250, which I knew he wouldn't be. But he got the D1 thing. He's going. He's doing things. Maybe he'll lead him to a state championship or something. That'd be fun. But let's move on and let's talk a little bit about the NBA because Hell Week for the Suns was this past week. We knew it was going to be. They had to play the Warriors twice in 4 days. They had 1 day off. And then the second time was without Booker on a road back-to-back, and we got to split. So it's cool. We ended up splitting them. We're still tied with them, I think, in the loss column. They have one more win than we do, or they have one less loss than we do, but we're a half game behind, whatever.
And I think the only thing that you saw there is Steph Curry and Steph Curry and Jordan Poole can snap at any given moment. Like there wasn't too much on you guys in that loss other than, man, if we had Book, this would be a completely different game.
I watched both games from start to finish. So if you look, and we ended up losing by like 23 points, but if you watch the game, the first game was a wrap. Curry couldn't shoot shit. He couldn't do anything. So the second game was really the one that mattered, and they were trying to put us away the whole game. And we went to the fourth quarter down like 7. We weren't out. And then they eventually put us, like, you just can't fight without your superstar for too long. It's just a thing. But the boys are playing, man. I love to see it. Shamit's trying to play. Crowder sucks right now. I'm hoping he comes back. Other than him, he's the only one that sucks. But Shamit's trying to play. Payne's trying to play. Johnson is stepping up. Really, he doesn't just want the rookie extension. He wants a real contract. So he's playing for that. And I'm excited to see. I thought they might have a little hangover from getting not reverse swept because they only won 2, but losing 4 in a row to the Bucks. I thought they might come out flat, and they've done nothing of the sort. They playing harder than ever, and it's exciting. Booker was the only one that actually did come out flat this season. Now he's back,
I think Cam's fighting for that starting position. He sees Crowder slipping up, and I even talked about it at the beginning of the season. That's a move that needs to be made, and I guess
he's done it a couple times. He's kind of throwing them in every other game now, so it's slowly shifting.
Yeah, once I start talking shit about Crowder again, he'll start showing that he isn't a bad player that I know he is. He sucked in fucking Cleveland, but yeah, no, I like what you guys have going on. The only thing is that bench. There was a lot expected of them in that game, the second game with the Warriors, and it just. It showed to be too much. The Warriors like to bring Steph in probably about 3 minutes earlier than everybody else is bringing any of their starters back. And there's nobody on that bench that's going to be able to stop him. And I think that's the thing. When you're putting Campaign or Landry Shamet up against Steph, it's game over. And that showed in that fourth quarter.
For sure. Yeah. And that's the reason that they do it. Curry can come out and drop 12 in that 3 minutes that he came out a little earlier than everybody else. And then you're like, oh, shit.
And I think they're showing, like, even KD alluded to it in his presser the other day when they were talking to him about his minutes and how they're so high. He's like, I might come out and play 48 minutes. Like the separation of the schedule this year has been really good throughout every team for the NBA. And you're used to all these three games, then you have a day or 2 off, then you got to play another back-to-back. But it seems like this year you got a couple back-to-backs. And even after that, you're off for like 3 or 4 days. Or if you're going to go on a big road streak, you get like 2 or 3 days rest. And the NBA has done a really good job with that this year. So yeah, these all-star players are able to play 38, 40 minutes a game. No problem compared to the last couple of years with these games just coming right back to back to back. And it's just a smack in the face. And then you get 4 days off. They've done a lot better with spacing the off days out to where they get more 2 days off, a day off here. And it's not fucking game, break, game, break. It's a lot better. And that's what they're going to have to do this season. We're going to see these all-star players. We're going to see Chris Paul, Devin Booker next time they play each other. If they have a series for the Western Conference, they're going to be playing 40 plus minutes, every single one of them, because they're going to be able to
Rested, yeah.
to be rested. And with the rules now, they have what I think 5 or 6 just rest
That you get to
days,
just
rest
chill.
games.
You used to get fined for that. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So the fact that they have that, I think you guys are really, really going to be. I still think one signing, one extra person, DeMarcus Cousins to you guys over the Bucks would have been tremendous. Something like that, a big man. I don't know.
I don't know. You don't trust McGee. He's been looking like a real, like I said, but these guys, you got to think.
But McGee's not going to come out and put up 15 points in 20 minutes.
But he has been. That's what I'm saying. He's like putting the ball on the floor. He thinks he's Anthony Davis with these point guard skills. It's hilarious. But you got to think,
bro. You guys announcers are hilarious. So it was on Bally Sports on Monday. So I was able to watch your guys, and he got the rebound and brought it up. And they're like, he's starting to think he's Chris Paul or something. It was amazing because I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And they were like, what is he doing? He's thinking he's Chris Paul now.
It's funny. Yeah, he the best thing about NBA League Pass, not a sponsor, but still a shout out because they're good, is you get to listen to whichever team's announcers you want. So anytime I watch the Suns,
shout out my stream.
Anytime I watch the Suns, it's Bally Sports Arizona, which is awesome. So that's super cool. Every time I watch the Cavs, your guys are pretty fun. I watched the 76ers the other day. They are so boring. That's why Ben Simmons wants out. He probably heard his highlights with their freaking announcers. And Philly's supposed to be that city too. And
dude, I love our announcers, and Richard Jefferson. Anytime he has an off day for whatever he's part of, he likes to come in. And I don't know his name. It's the black guy, because you could tell the older white guy and the older black guy. You could tell the mouse in the house. Right. That guy, he's the best. And him and Richard, they go at it with each other. And our commentary is one of the best. It's awesome. They laugh probably half the game.
They do.
They make jokes the whole time.
The best part is it's happened less and less. I think more announcers are pretty fair. But you guys are so fair. Like when the Suns played you guys, I watched the Suns cast, but then I went and watched the Cavs cast for a little bit, and they were hyping Booker up so much. They were hyping Ayton up. Like if somebody's balling on them, they talk about it, man. When I
recognize real.
Yeah, when I watch the Bucks, I've seen the Bucks quite a bit too. They will like put down, like Joel Embiid was dropping like 40 on them, and they were like, all you got to do is stop him from doing. And I'm like, no, like he's good. Just talk about how good he is. And you guys used to hate that. For sure.
I used to hate that whenever people would talk about LeBron. Just make him go left and get the shot. Just make him go left and get the shot. Be like, bro, you go up against a 260-pound freight train and make him go left. The
Right.
fuck? Get out of here with that. Yeah, that's just so annoying. Yeah, and we do. We recognize real recognize real. Our guys are. I really do think it's not a homer thing. We have really great announcers, and it's fun to watch. And yeah, man, I can't wait till the days I can get Game Pass. But I love the streams I'm able to get, and it's usually goes to the home team. So and sometimes they'll have it up there you can pick.
Nice.
So
yeah, and now your product on the court is starting to match your announcers, which is nice. I said a couple of weeks ago, I said when Mobley comes back, you guys are going to start to hit that stride again.
5 blocks tonight against the Bulls.
And you were like, well, maybe he's a good player, but there's a lot of injuries. And he came back. You guys are rolling. He's looking great. Kevin Love has looked way better since Mobley's come back, which is weird because Jared Allen is playing so good. But still Kevin Love kind of needed the Mobley difference in there. So it's helped him out a lot.
Well, the thing is with Kevin Love, he's only playing 20, 25 minutes a game now, and he's coming in. And so Kevin Love's always played not old school ball. He gets rebounds over everybody, right, and he can score 40 points a game. He's not doing that anymore, but he knows the guys that he's going up against now, the second team, he will score over them every single time, and he knows the plays that are coming before they do on their offensive end.
Right.
So he's able to get the steals that he used to get again. He's back to getting 15 assists if he wants to, and 20 minutes of play. And so I think the court slowed down again for Kevin Love because he's playing against the second team, and it's not a knock on him. He's just not athletically gifted anymore.
Right.
He hasn't been athletically gifted since like 2015, and that was 6 years ago. So Kevin Love's IQ will always be able to beat any freaking tier 5 player out there, no matter what. So that's helped out a lot. Ricky Rubio's been able to step up. Lamar Stevens, I think is his name. He's been getting buckets because he's off ball. One of the best off ball players I've seen in a long time. He does not stop moving. And Kevin Love will just hold the ball, watch the little fucking mice run around, and then get into a spot, and he just shoots the ball, and he's buckets all day long. And that's really helped out our team. Once the starters go for a rest, we're still going to outscore their second team 15-5 all day long. And that's really what's been able to get us over these top tier teams that really aren't deep in rotations, like the Chicago Bulls, the Bucks. We gave them hell the other day. I think they ended up beating us, but we're over 500. We're playing good. And it's because our second team is led by Kevin Love, who is the smartest basketball player on the court.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, it's not a Cav, sadly, but you were talking about your Stevens guy that's really good off the ball, and it made me think you were shouting out the juniors that the old juniors kind of sucked. The new juniors are starting to get better. Shout out to Gary Payton Jr. This man is real, dude. He's
his nose though.
It's hard to say he has a trajectory to be better than his dad, but defensively he is right there. And dude, like you said with Stevens, he's always running, he's always going, he's jumping lanes, he's getting back, he's doing it all. And he won't be as good as his dad physically because you just can't anymore. The roles are so much different, but he's not going to put shade on that name. Gary Payton Jr. is a good player, so shout out to him too.
And he landed on a great squad to come out on that. But even to come out on that second team, like he adds a toughness to that second team that they didn't have. It was Draymond and bust, pretty much. So for him to come out and keep up that same energy as Draymond is awesome. I just can't stand his nose. It's just way too big for his face. That's my only knock on the kid.
It's pretty big. So talking about Mobley, he's back. He missed 5 games, 6 games?
6.
And dropped down in the rookie of the year standing. Scotty Barnes jumped up above him, at least in most people's eyes. You think he's coming to rip that back from Scotty Barnes here lately?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm pissed off because I had $5 on him at plus 1,400 and I got the money back. The sports book is down in Florida.
Oh, they actually gave you all your bet. They closed all your bets and gave them back.
Yeah. So I woke because I went to sleep and I lost all my money in 2 days. So I put $15 on, put some money going, and woke up to like $55. And I was like, what the fuck? Football hasn't even like finished yet. I woke up at like 3:30. I was like, what? There's no London games. What's going on? And I look and it says, the Hard Rock has been temporarily stopped. And I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I got all of my futures, my Evan Mobley, my Cincinnati to win, my Aaron Rodgers to repeat as MVP. Thank God I got that money back. But like all of these futures, I had like $20-$30 in futures to win like $500, and I got all that the money that I put in back. I was so pissed. But
I thought they would be like, we'll hold on to your futures if
they hold your free bets.
Well, it was just saying, like, I would say, like, if they hit while it's still like illegal, you don't win. Sorry. But if for whatever reason it comes back on, you have your futures bet saved for you.
It's not coming back till November next year. It's a known thing pretty much now. It sucks, but yeah, I was pretty pissed off.
It's forced to get voted on now.
If Evan Mobley, it was voted on, but it wasn't on sports betting the way that they're doing it. It was voted on them to bet at the Hard Rock place. So the servers being there means nothing to the legislators, which is fuck them.
That's how California is too. But they keep for some reason keeps getting voted down. We've been voted down 2 years in a row now.
We voted that shit like 73-27. Like it was like, yes, let's bet sports.
I don't know why we're voting it down.
And then it was like, no, you bet on a compact with the Seminoles and you have to go bet on their land.
I think Vegas citizens are getting like dual citizenship in California so they can vote no, so that Vegas is to keep all the sports betting money.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But yeah, no, back to your question. I do think Evan Mobley is going to end up winning the Rookie of the Year. There's just no way that he's not. Toronto is good, but they have Pascal back, which has already started to get Scotty Barnes' numbers down. Gary Trent's numbers have went down a lot too. And yeah, he's going to lose minutes. He's going to lose those boards that he was getting to Pascal. And oh yeah, he was averaging like 18 points a game. That's not happening with Pascal
Right.
and Fred Vliet on the court, or
Right.
Fred Van Vliet on the court. So yeah, I think if Mobley can keep up the 2010 pace that he's on right now, then yeah, he should very well much so get it. And oh yeah, next year he's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year if he can keep up these fucking 3 to
Right.
5 blocks of games that he's been doing since he got back.
My
He's
guy is an
on a
afterthought.
tear.
I mean, just imagine the odds you can get on Jalen Green right now because he is nothing. This
Yeah,
dude is
Jalen Green's
trash,
ass.
you know?
He's been injured too.
Yeah.
Scruggs, who was the favorite at the beginning of the season, is like plus like fucking 3,600 right now.
Yeah.
But he's
Cade's
been
coming
injured
back
too.
from injury and he's looking pretty good. So he's going to jump his name back up in there pretty quick. But Detroit sucks. So not that suckiness matters for rookie of the year, but like Cade is going to be carrying these dudes to 20 wins if he's lucky. So
yeah.
But
Evan Mobley's going to average like probably 5-6 more points a game. Cade just started off late. Like he's like us playing 2K before we're good.
Yep.
And we end up averaging like 3 points a game in the rec. It's like, God dang it. If we would have just waited.
And then if you take your last like 10 games, we'd have a 2010, but we're like 3 points and 2 assists a game.
Exactly. For the first 2 months. Yeah. And that's exactly what Cade did. And he just started off cold. And now that he's finally getting hot, Evan Mobley already has 3 months of great stats put up. And it's Mobley's to lose at this point. 1,000%. And there's really nobody else. Franz Wagner
is up there.
He's up there, but he's kind of hit a plateau. You know, he's found his spot on that team, and he's just kind of there. Cole Anthony is going nuts right now, and they got Mo Bamba healthy with Wendell Carter, so they're kind of finding their identity, and it's not Franz snapping to be able to do too much. Like Mobley has the best lane to get there. He just would have to get injured to not win it. It's
Mobley and Barnes. And the reason is because they both play offense and defense. And that's where it's at. And like you said, now Barnes's offense is probably going to suffer. His defense will still be there. If you watch Toronto play, you will still go, damn, that dude's a good player. But his offensive numbers just aren't going to be there the same that Mobley's is. And a two-way player that can put up the numbers that Mobley's going to put up, it's going to be too easy. I mean, you saw Zion almost still rookie of the year from Ja with like 20 games just because he plays offense and defense, and Ja only plays offense. Like if you can play both ways, Cade would have to double Mobley's scoring to have a chance.
I mean, Cade's starting to get there with the rebounds. He's starting to attack the boards a lot more. I think last game he had 9. Not tonight. They played tonight, I believe, but last night he had like 9 boards. I think, he's starting to get up there, but he's just, when you have a guy who plays power forward, but he's the center on the team pretty much,
right?
There's no way if he's able to be productive that you're going to be able to beat that out at the end of the season. Like,
I'm still surprised that your like all big man thing is working.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. Our fucking first team average height is like 6'9", and our second team is like 6'5". It's great.
Yeah. I don't get it, but it's working. It's because they're so athletic, I guess. Like Mobley's athletic. Allen is not the best. I wouldn't call him super athletic, but defensively he's athletic. Markkanen is athletic for his weird, goofy, skinny, tall self. Garland is obviously Garland, and then Rubio has always been pretty good. Love his like your guys' size is crazy. Just imagine if we tried to put Ayton, McGee, and Kaminsky all on the floor at one time. What would just happen? We'd implode. You got like every team would score like crazy on them. So
I think Markkanen's 6'9" or some shit. He's our 3.
And he's athletic too. Like I never think he's athletic. And then I watch him play and I'm like, oh dang. I think he's like Kaminsky. I think that's just a white boy pick, but Kaminsky's not athletic. And so when I see Markkanen, I'm like, oh, he's like that. And he's not. So all right. So the NBA is fun. We're doing good. I still think you guys are going to make at least play in tournament, which will be fun. The West is 2 teams, bro. Like we're a quarter of the season through, and unless somebody gets really injured on either one of those 2 teams, it's a 2-team race. The 1 and 2 are almost locked up already, in my opinion, just in my brain, at least. and it's where they end up that's going to matter. But the
Yeah, the
Western
Lakers
Finals
suck. The Mavs are just meh. The Nuggets,
the Jazz are still the Jazz, but
the Nuggets are gonna have to figure out who their like role players are, like who their second and third option are. Like some days it's Will Barton, some days it's Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. is out for the season.
Yeah.
So they have to figure it out. Like they're fucked. Portland, they're fucked. Shout out to CJ McCollum. Collapsed lung. Hopefully he gets better. T's and P's to him.
So I don't want to jump on your thoughts and prayers thing because that it feels rude to me, but we're a sports podcast. But do you think he was potentially going to get traded? And now this lung thing, like, who knows, man?
No.
You don't think they were either?
Lillard was the out.
They can't. Nobody's going to give them what they need, what they want from Lillard. They'll give them a McCollum package.
At the end of the season, though, if they were without CJ and Dame, that fan base is done. And that organization is not that stupid. Like when they got rid of LaMarcus Aldridge, they knew what they had in Nurkic.
Right.
And I don't think that organization is that stupid, and they're not going to fuck their fan base. They love their fan base.
So do you think they now just part with Lillard and say, when CJ's back healthy, he's our guy. Let's rally around him. Let's do this.
CJ is going to be their guy moving forward. Dame.
He's been their guy for the last couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, Dame came out today saying that he doesn't want to trade, but actions are louder than words, my guy. And everybody in your circle has been coming out talking about how you're not happy and how you're looking to be gone by a month and a half from now.
And every time they say, I don't want this, the next day you see the trade on ESPN.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So I think CJ is going to be their guy, and that sucks. It really sucks what happened, and non-basketball injuries are the worst for these basketball players. Like they love the game, and for him not to be able to do anything, like he for some of these people they could have a hip injury. At least they're still able to do like strength and conditioning somewhat. Right. He can't do shit. Like he can't.
And it's just so random too. There's no way to predict who or when a collapsed lung could happen. And it's nothing he did wrong. Like it's just a thing, dude.
Yeah, and it sucks. So hopefully he gets better and he's able to come back and play basketball. But I don't think that that CJ was the guy that was on the outs. Gotcha. I think it was Dame. And
I think they were shopping CJ. I do, but
without Dame, what's the other kid? You got pissed off at him last week because he sucked. But he's not a bad option to start at point guard for that team and what they're able to do. They have a Powell, and he's a playmaker. He's a scorer. They still have Nurkic, who for some reason this season doesn't want to put the ball in the basket, but he's still a playmaker if he has to be. He can put up 40 points like it's nothing. So I don't think that team will be bad without Dame. I just think CJ needs to come back and play like he has the last 2 weeks and really show what the hype was all about in 2018.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we're making a shift back to football because I wanted to save this for the end, but I did see a headline during my research. You might have seen it since you're an actual Jags fan. But now you guys have superstar versus coach here. Have you seen the headline yet? With the James Robinson stuff.
Yeah, so
Trevor Lawrence wants him on the field. The coaches have been benching him. What comes out of this as a Jags fan? Like, what's
the headlines that have been going out is really deceiving from today. Trevor Lawrence came out and said that yes, he does not like that he's out 20 snaps after a fumble. Yes, he was benched. He did say that it's been talked about. It has been discussed that everybody is now on the same page, and James Robinson is going to get his touches, which I like. Urban also came out in this week's presser saying, yes, for the most part, I've always been hands-on with everything. I've always had a foot in the door with every meeting room in the building. I didn't this year because of my mental health and my stamina and all this bullshit that he wants to start alluding to so he can go back to college football.
He said he's not ever going back to college football.
Yeah, fuck him. But so he's starting all this shit, and I think this was a kick in the ass to Urban to start doing what he was paid to do. We didn't get a delegating Urban. Nobody's ever hired a delegating Urban. That's not what Urban does. So for him to come out the last couple of weeks talking about, James Robinson wasn't in on 3rd and 1. I don't know I don't get into it with the offensive coordinator and the running backs coach. They do their own thing. Fuck that. You're the head coach. If it's 3rd and 1 and you see fucking Carlos Hyde on the field, you call a timeout. You tell Bevel he's a little bitch. You tell the running back coach to suck your left nut, and you put James Robinson on the field and you call the fucking play. You're the head coach. It comes to you at the end of the day.
Right.
You're the one on the fucking podium. You're the one answering all the questions. And I think this week, whatever conversation that Trevor Lawrence was alluding to, saying that it's been discussed, it's been talked about, now we're all on the same page. Hopefully Urban kind of, got a fire in his asshole to start being the guy that he was hired to be, the Ohio State coach, the Florida coach, not whoever the fuck showed up in Jacksonville to
The guy
delegate.
trying not to lose his job. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah, he's not trying to lose. He's trying to delegate. Who Urban Meyer does not delegate. He does not delegate, and that's something that I've talked about the players. He coaches up every position. He's in everybody's face. He's always trying to teach somebody. Urban Meyer doesn't fucking delegate. So to come out and seeing this the last couple of weeks, so that really pissed me off. So hopefully this Trevor Lawrence thing coming out, talking to the media, I love the fact that he came out the first year.
And he didn't do it in like a mean way either, which is nice.
No, not at all. But at the end of the day, it's a fuck the coaching staff. I'm gonna speak on the coaching staff right now. And James Robinson needs to be on the field. He said he's one of the best players on this team. He's the best player on the team, but Trevor Lawrence isn't going to say he's not.
Right.
So he's going to say he's one of the best players. James Robinson is the best player on that team. He has 1,000 yards last year, at least. What was it, like 1,500 yards from scrimmage last year? He's a fucking monster. We had no offensive line last year. We actually got a little bit of help this year on the interior. That's why all the defensive ends are able to get fucking pressure, because we still believe in Jawan Taylor and fucking stupid ass Cam Robinson, the fucking Florida connection bullshit. Fucking stupid. I hate our tackles. But yeah, we've got a lot better. Run blocking is our best part, and I have Carlos Hyde out there for 60% of the snaps because the dude had a fumble for the 2nd time in his career, over 400 fucking carries, and he fumbled the ball. Yeah, that you can't have that. And for Urban just to sit there and say that has nothing to do with me. Yes, yeah, it has everything to do with you.
Do with you. Yeah, exactly.
It has everything to do with you. So hopefully we come out in these last 6 weeks and win at least 4 or 5 games. And that's usually what the Jaguars do. We suck ass. We're not a really good team, but we come out at the end of the year and we fucking fight and we get victories. Didn't happen last year, 1-15. But usually when we suck and we end with 3 or 4 wins, 2 or 3 of them come at the end of the year when they're actually showing up and fighting for the fans and for the coaching staff. So hopefully the meeting went well, and they're not sitting there mocking the head coach anymore.
Right. They're mocking whoever the offensive coordinator is that benched James Robinson.
Bevel's a bitch. I cannot stand that guy, bro. I hate him more than I hated Grantham, the defensive coordinator for the Gators last year.
Yeah.
Like, Bevel is a bitch and a half. Russell Westbrook would say the same fucking thing. Damn, I'm out of beer.
Well, we're out of time as well. So that was a nice transition, except that I don't have a cool ending. I would have just streamlined right into a perfect ending, but I had one earlier too. I was reading this cool thing on the internet, but I don't remember what it was at all. It really sucks.
So I want to be like
Hansel.
Hey, his name's Hansel.
Yeah, Hansel Emmanuel. And he has like 4 names. But... Well, I'm sure that's not the first time he's ever heard that. But yeah, dude, I mean, I hate circling back to stories, but this man is putting himself out there and not only just playing, like I said, I think you need to understand it's not like a Rudy type situation. It's not some dude that's not actually good at football going in to run a play and get cheered out by his fans. This dude is good. He's the captain of their team. He's scoring the most points on their team. He's shoots this like weird fadeaway jumper thing, and I don't honestly know how he gets it off. It's really odd because he has to catch using his nub, and then he like rolls it up and shoots, and it's hard enough to just do it, and then he does it
like this.
He does it with a fadeaway.
Yeah, he's like leaning, and he's like he leans back like, hard,
like truly fading away. So, but he figured it out. I don't know when he lost his arm. I don't know if he was born with it. I don't know if it was later on, but he figured out what to do in life to continue to get ahead. He didn't change his dream. He changed his strategy and made sure that he was going to get to that dream because that dream was his dream. and he's not going to let circumstances change that. So if you have a dream that you care that much about, don't worry about circumstances. Whatever comes your way, you might have to change your strategy. You might have to change your training technique. That was a hard sentence to say. You might have to change those circumstances around you, but don't change the goal. You might even have to change the time frame for the goal, but don't change it. Keep pushing, keep doing, put everything out there, because when you die and whatever it is you believe in, just like Sil said, don't let them read to you your should have been. Let them read you did the best things you can do with what I gave you, your creator or your big bang or whatever it is you feel like is talking to you at the end. Make yourself proud, make your family proud, and just as always, be a stud, not a scrub.